Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, let's grab our tea, our petty hot tea, and get started because remember when the orange man said that he was going to protect us women if we liked it or not? Yeah, that's what you want to hear from a man. If you like it or not. But it's like the whole thing of them being scared with the bathrooms and trans women with the bathrooms. But then, there's been a lot of men lately getting arrested for either following women into the bathroom, one with a weapon. Yeah, that happened last week, I believe, or the week before. And when it comes to women, a lot of, or even young girls, not women, like we're finding even ICE, people who are working for ICE are getting arrested for trying to play with these young girls, and I'm not talking about recess. Yeah, but they keep trying to make us fear trans women, but we keep finding, especially Republican men get caught up with a mugshot because they were doing illegal things with women, proving that it's not trans women that we need to be concerned about. It's cis men. As Republic, like, I mean, all men, because I'm not gonna say Democrats are innocent, Mm. But it's just really interesting with how many conservative men have been caught in the act and or arrested, and or you look at their past and you see huge red flags. But that orange man who said he was going to protect us if we liked it or not, what about protecting our rights for education? That's what I really want to talk about today, because even with abortion and pro choice or pro life and everything like that, they're taking away our rights. And then some Republicans want to take a woman's right to divorce away, or take away default divorce away. And some want to even take away interracial marriage, but that's a whole different category. And that one Supreme Court case either failed or dropped, or like with the LGBTQ being able, the LGBTQ plus community, like trying to take their right to marry away. I'm so glad, yeah, because yeah, with our Supreme Court, I wasn't, yeah, okay, but okay, it's like, you know what, this orange man has the nerve to say this, but then when it comes to education and degrees with nursing, education, and like RA, and like all, like there's a list of them. I will try to look up the list, but my degrees, and it's like oddly enough, yeah, I saw quite a few of my degrees and concentrations on that list. And are you protecting us? Are you protecting us? The conservative men I know love this. A lot of the men who want to be able to force a woman to marry them love this. Is they're trying their best to make sure that women have no choice but to be dependent on a man. But the thing, like, one trend or one thing that I'm really noticing is that a lot of the people I know from my past who married very young, it's divorce season for them right now. Quite a few of them are divorcing right now. And I've said in other episodes how it's like when you're young, you don't know yourself yet. You think you know yourself, or you know the self that your parents want you to be, or you know the self that, like, your family version of you. Like while you're at home, while you're dependent on somebody, you know that version of yourself. But if you haven't gone and lived out and like learned how to pay your bills. And it's like, with paying your bills, are you a saver, investor? Are you like, do you spend every penny and then you have to like try to survive like naked and afraid until the next Friday and things like that? How what you gonna do? How you gonna do it? And it's like a lot of people don't know that part of themselves until, but then a lot of people want to marry, and some people are like, I don't care how much they make, or they only marry because of how much they make. And so then they don't know their independence financially. But then once they get married, they start doing things, and that can cut, like, money is one of the top reasons why people divorce. And I think one reason a lot of people don't know themselves, they don't know their financial habits, they don't know what and how they're going to balance the checkbooks or communication with finances. And it's just it's like women over time, like, thanks for being able to have the rights that we have now. We're still not equal, but it's more equal than it was. Especially, like, we can have our own bank accounts. We can have, like, get amazing jobs, or we didn't. That might be a past. That might need to be past tense, because now saying that some degrees are not professional anymore, downgrading degrees that people have worked really hard on. But this isn't the first time this has happened. A lot of people don't realize, once, you know, with historically black colleges and universities, once black people were allowed to go to college. Well, no, first, no, well, we were allowed because we had to build our own colleges and universities, because there's a lot of colonizers here present day who are so ignorant, or just plain old dumb, idiotic, naive bigots, that they don't know why historically black colleges and universities were built. It was because we were not allowed to go to the white schools. So, but then a lot of black people, like black men especially, were going to school for either plumbing and other items that now are trades. A lot of those trades used to be degrees, but our country didn't like that so many black men were getting degrees, so they turned them into trades. There's a list of them. So we are kind of repeating history again. And this is one reason why I say we need to learn our history. We need to learn our facts. Because if you don't know the facts, then you're going to end up repeating. And it's like, just like with how a lot of the conservatives are saying, well, we don't need so much information about slavery in the museums. That's depressing. When I go to a museum, I want to be happy. I want to be, shut up. The past is the past. The past teaches you what happened, so to make sure that you don't do it again. And with the whole slavery thing, yeah, well, some of them were like, well, we all know what's bad. No, listen to some of those conservative pastors right now. Listen to some of them on their social media say, in the Bible, it wasn't bad. If you think it's bad, no, look at the Bible. You need to know your history. During slavery, the slave masters tore out the parts that taught the slaves to be obedient slaves. The brainwashing. They used the Bible, they used religion as a weapon. And now you got to be careful, because a lot of these colonizing people, they're twisting everything up. When it comes to LGBTQ plus community, twisting it up. And women in submission, twisting it up. Education, they want to take that away, to force us to oblige and obey and be submit, like, we got to be careful. We got to listen, pay attention, and make sure that we learn from the past. We need to recognize when they are trying to repeat the past, because, like, a lot of people didn't even hear about this. And And a lot of people didn't cover it because of the Epstein case. Ladies, we need to pay attention. Late, like, and it's crazy how many men tell me it's not ladylike to talk politics. It's not ladylike to care about politics. Why do you care about politics? Just, just let it be. Whatever's going to be, just let it be. That's how all of this crap is going on right now. That's why they are turning some of my degrees to a point where they're downgrading it. And this is going to, this might interfere with a lot of women being able to go to school. But that's their plan. That's what they want. And so I might have channels or episodes where I'm going to show. I know there was I loved Code Academy. I want to get back on it now, but I'm going to try to create episodes where, okay, you don't want us in nursing. You don't want us in all these, like some of these other careers. Okay, let's get in STEM. So I'm going to do my best to see if I can create collections of resources and websites for our Gen A and Gen Z or anybody going back to school. Okay, you don't want us to do A, B, and C? Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens when so many women start getting into computer programming. Yeah, let's see what happens with engineering and all. Like, yeah, let's see. Let's find out. Yeah, you want to take valid, amazing, different types of career options away from women? You want to downgrade the value of education that black women have? Because black women are the most educated demographic in the country. Are they trying to interfere with that too? Because when you look at that list, yeah, when you look at that list, a lot of African American women, yeah, yeah. So there's sexism and a little racism, yeah, yeah. So it's annoying and frustrating. And so that's another reason why, ladies, we need to start more of our businesses. Like we have all of these male billionaires, millionaires going around. We need to make more female millionaires. We need to make sure we create more female nonprofits or for profit training facilities and things to make sure that women are able to get on their feet and have a career and buy a house. And I think that's another thing. More women own houses than men right now. And I think they hate that. They don't like that women are becoming more independent. But instead of men maturing or realize, like being able to embrace women with their dreams and goals and everything, no, they want to take more of our rights away to force, because they're just trying to force us. And it's like, if you want someone to love you, shouldn't it be authentic? Shouldn't it be because they like your personality, your character, and everything like that? Not because they have to marry somebody in order to not be on the street or homeless. I mean, I maybe I got love all confused. Because we also have to pay attention, ladies. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. They took that away. When it comes to women in history, they took some of the stuff off the websites. When it comes to like words that are allowed on their websites, the government websites. See how many relate to women. And then the army and navy and things like, yeah. It's like, see what is going on. Pay attention to your past and also history and everything. Yes, past is history, but it's like our past is even the last, presidential elections and things like that. It's like if even when or while Kamala Harris was, you know, running, all of the sexism, all of the disgusting things the conservative men said and women. I mean, they can't wait to be able to drag a woman, especially a black woman, because Mrs. Obama, they still try to say she's a man and everything. And it's like when that, oh, and then just our wonderful and amazing Olympic athletes, Miss Biles, whew, all of the stress she was put under and with all of the things going on in her life. And then it's like she still gets hated on too. Hmm. But they want to take away our education because they want to take away our opportunity to be independent. They want to take away our option of wanting to marry. A lot of us would want to be married, but we need to find a guy, a man that respects us, understands us, that if we choose to work, we can work. We want to work. If we don't, then they can stay home. But have you been paying attention to some of the videos of women who did the more conservative family approach? How many of their husbands cheated on them or used them, or it was basically like they were a single mom while married because the husband, like, he did nothing. So then they got divorced and now she has no work history. So now she has to literally start from the bottom. And a lot of them had no degrees. So they were making like hardly any money. And everything was in the husband's name. Pay attention, because I don't get like I'm I'm 80% like retired from dating. And do I have some hope? Minuscule, a little bit, whatever, but I don't want to be with someone just because I have to. I want to be with someone because I want to. But a lot of these men don't care. No. A lot of them want someone submissive and obedient. Because that's what, like, to them, submissive means obedient. The way that they try to teach it in the my pastor, because yeah, there's a bishop and a pastor. Oh, the way our pastor tried to teach about submission, never. That will never be me. Like, talking to some of these men on the phone or even messaging, then I block them, and then they try to find me like, why'd you block me? What's wrong? Like, no, mm-mm. When you tell me that my cute little ideas don't matter, or that I need to tell you, like, or once that I had to get his permission, and another, like with my novels, he said he has to read it first because he has to make sure that it's going to be to his standards, or that is something that he's going to allow. Ha ha ha! You think I'm going to date you? You think I'm going to date you? Oh, it's some like they want to take our education away. They can't. So I guess, like, what's going to happen now? I mean, do they want men to be the nurses now? Do they want male teachers now? Like, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? If they're not professional degrees, what's going to happen? Who's going to do them? If you're going to lower their pay, but then it's like he said he was going to lower prices, but instead lowering salaries, instead possibly going to have more people needing to apply for food stamps. But then we already have enough people say, get a job, get a job. these people got degrees and the jobs, but now you want to take away like the level of education. Now you want to downgrade their hard work and possibly downgrade the amount of money in their check. But yeah, just wait. Their conservatives are going to figure out a way to blame these people. They should have gotten different degrees. They should have done A, B, and C. They should have had a backup plan. They should have gotten married. It's like now some of them are old or older. They should have gotten paired up with a man while they could. So, yeah, we need to pay attention. And if you guys have any ideas about episodes and stuff that I can cover, let me know. But yeah, I'm going to do an episode talking and listing all of the degrees because I believe education, a lot of medical ones, and I think some in therapy. And I saw one in business. That was kind of horrifying because I'm like, a lot of men major in business and also a lot of women. So what, like, and also, are you trying to stop women from starting their own businesses? Or are you don't want as many women in corporate? You don't, like, you want to make sure we can't find a chair at the table? But yeah, on the nerd, like, yeah, I need to start the nerd channel. Like, I started it, but yeah, I was trying to get this going and moving first, but yeah, it's time to piss some people off. It's time to be petty. Cause yeah, I'm gonna try to, like, I repeat it, like, yeah, I'm gonna work on the, the list of training things and going over each degree, and then also mentioning maybe degrees around the country that most people don't know about, and how to start your own business. And also, if you feel like you need to marry quickly, think like making sure things are in your name, things to make sure that are in the prenup. Yeah, I've got some ideas. I need to write them all down. So, but if they don't, yeah, for those who already don't like me, oh, they're gonna hate me. Hate with a couple spoonfuls of sugar will taste delicious because I'm petty. I don't care. But yeah, if you guys have any other ideas of things that I can do to help, because when it comes to education, and just remember, like with the orange man, what he said his first time up trying to run, he loves the poorly educated. And when you look at education, the more education you have, the more likely you are to vote Democrat. And then with Turning Point trying to go into a lot of these schools, they try to teach very conservative viewpoints on family and gender. Pay attention to what is going on around you and what the actions on some of these people. Because while I keep thinking about all of the things, and because, yeah, a lot of women vote Democrat. So I kind of wonder, like, one, they're trying to make it harder for women to be more independent, forcing them to marry. And then two, the less education, the more likely the less education they have, the more likely they will be Republican. So they might be doing that too. And there's a few other guesses in my mind, but especially when it comes to race and racism, and because there was one guy he was doing this whole thing about if they can stop Asian and white women from going to college, Republicans will win almost every election because they said that white women and Asians are so smart, but when they go to college, a lot of them turn Democrat. But because they were talking about doing a test for voting, but they were like, well, no black women will pass it. Oh yeah, it is by that jerk of a conservative. Well, that's all in my opinion, of course. But yeah, people still don't know how racist some of the demographics of our country are. Kind of scary and horrifying because if you still don't see this, if you still don't see how many men, or especially colonizing men, but that's the funny part, there are some men who they think they're not colonizing men, but then their eyes are so shut and they're still like asleep on the matter that they still say there's no racism. They're as blind as Ray Charles on history and the reality of what people are going through. But all they have to do is open their eyes, but they refuse to open their eyes. Maybe all they have to do is turn the switch on in the room. Maybe the light bulb is, everything is good. The electric bill was paid. All they have to do is turn on the light. But they refuse because they don't want to see the realities in front of them or in the room. They don't want to see what other people are going through. They'd rather just stay in their comfort. And their comfort is in the dark room where you're not able to see just the awful, terrible things that are going on around them. They don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. And so we have men trying to take women's rights away, trying to make it harder on women. But then they say they're doing some of the stuff for women, but it's not for women, it's for men. And some of them, oh, all you women have to do is stay home and make kids. All you have to do is cook us dinner. All you have to do is make sure we're happy. We're not pets. We're not like slaves or like maids or like, and that's the thing. Some of them want to treat us like that. That's exactly what they want. And that's why they want to take away our right to vote and our voice and our options. We literally had that one pastor on TV and stuff talk about how he wants to take women's rights away or the right to vote. He thinks it should be a family vote. Well, no, what he means is the man decides, the man chooses. But then a lot of these men are mad that women don't want to, like, once they find out you're literally voting on the side that wants to take women's rights away, you think that's going to make us interested? It's like they're so shocked. Because even watching some of these dating shows, and when the women ask who'd you vote for, I've even seen it the other way around where the men are asking the women, and when they try to go around the subject because they don't want you to know. They try to go around the subject and it's hilarious. And or how many men say, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so for you it doesn't matter if my rights are taken away as well. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that it doesn't matter goes a long way. It doesn't matter. I should write a poem all about that. Yeah, because their vote speaks volumes. That one vote is like a novel. It tells me everything I need to know about them. But thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.